So the next person that we are going to bring up is Shen Morincome, and Shen is with Zerpmon. So looking forward to this. Yep, it's gonna be great. Leveling up in the decentralized playground, right? Thanks. Yeah, thanks.
Hi everyone. My name is Shen. I've been building on the XRP ledger since 2021 on various different projects. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about Web3 gaming, which is one of the core aspects of our projects, and how that can also help XRPL adoption. So first I'm going to begin with what is Web3 gaming, and I'm going to give a little bit of an example of what the traditional gaming industry looks like currently as well, right? So right now, the traditional gaming industry is absolutely booming. If you look at it compared to other entertainment industries, the gaming industry has double the gross revenue of both the film industry and the music industry, right? A great example of this is, for example, the highest grossing film of all time, which is Avatar, which grossed about $3 billion, right? Then you look at the two highest grossing video games of all time, which are Minecraft and GTA 5. Both have grossed over $6 billion each, right? So there's a clear potential there in terms of how many people are engaging and participating in the gaming industry. And that's just the traditional gaming industry, right? So what would Web3 bring to gaming? So one of the best examples I have for this is a game called Counter-Strike, which I'm sure some of you are aware of. And they have a marketplace running on Steam where players are able to trade skins for their items, which customize cosmetically the different skins. And they trade these for thousands and thousands of dollars. And this ecosystem of trading digital assets existed long before NFTs and Web3 really ever took off, right? And so what it means is that the biggest issue with this platform is that it is actually just completely centralized though. So players have these assets and they've spent thousands of dollars on these assets, but you know, if the servers or there was some sort of exploit or something went down on the Steam end, players would no longer have access to be able to use, trade, buy, sell any of these assets that they have purchased with thousands of dollars of their own real money, right? So what Web3 integration and blockchain integration into gaming really does is it creates true ownership over in-game assets. This means that a player will have their asset tokenized on the blockchain. And it means that even if something happens to the game itself or the game servers or anything gets exploited, the player will still have complete control over the assets that they have spent money on and earned in-game. And this is for all the way from tokens to NFTs. So what this means is that gaming really brings a lot to the Web3 ecosystem. And there's a vast amount of potential to enhance the gaming experience for players using blockchain and Web3. Another good example is the potential return on investment for a player when they're playing a Web3 integrated game. So in traditional gaming, you know, you'll put in you'll put in a lot of money and a lot of time, but you're not going to get any of that back, right? You're doing it purely for the enjoyment and the engagement. The interesting thing about Web3 is that if it's done correctly, the game can still be extremely fun, engaging, rewarding, but you can also earn assets, which you can then convert into fiat and, you know, real money, right? And that's something which does not exist in the traditional gaming industry at all. So I think obviously, you know, there was a large play and earn phase and play to earn and all of that. And I think what we saw out of that was that a lot of these projects, you know, they focused on, you know, how can we make players money and how players can make money, but, you know, they forgot about the fun and the engaging aspect of it. And so I think that, you know, once game developers, and I'm seeing it more and more, is once these games find the balance between creating something genuinely fun, enjoyable, and engaging, even if it had no Web3 integration, but you do add Web3 integration, that is the secret sauce, I'd say, to creating a successful Web3 integrated game, which enhances the player experience. So I'll talk a little bit about why XRP. And I think XRP sits in a very unique position as a cryptocurrency token, because I think there are two core groups of users who are using this token, right? I've broken it down into institutional use case and utility, and also retail use case and utility. So obviously from a institutional perspective, this is something that I'm sure a lot of us are quite aware of. Things like very deep liquidity across various regions, faster, cheaper cross-border payments, regulatory clarity, and environmental sustainability, which I think is something that is not touched on very often. But I think as institutions begin to integrate more Web3 and cryptocurrency technology, environmental sustainability is a key factor in when they're choosing what sort of ecosystems and what sort of technology to use. So I think that is a really important aspect that a lot of people seem to forget. From a retail perspective, though, XRP actually is quite different. So if anyone here is, I assume a lot of people have used the XRPL and used XRP on the XRPL. It is extremely fast and extremely cheap and very secure, right? So that's obviously a very big, win for users, and that's something that users look for across the entire cryptocurrency space. We've also got it. XRP is also integrated, and this is something that we're seeing, start to happen really rapidly into a very exciting multi-chain ecosystem. And Josh spoke a little bit about it just before as well. Is that with these ecosystems like Zahao and Root Network and EVM sidechain, is that XRP will be able to flow between all of these exciting networks and ecosystems, which all have unique different benefits and unique ways you can use your XRP, and you're able to move it seamlessly between all of these different ecosystems. So one thing you might not be able to do with your XRP on the mainnet, you'll be able to do on Zahao, or something you can't do on Zahao, you can do on the Root Network, or something you can't do on the Root Network, you can do on the mainnet. And I think that is adding immense value from a retail perspective to XRP. I think as well, everyone who's used the XRPL has a good understanding of the native security and spam prevention functionality of the XRPL mainnet, which I think is very important. You look at many other ecosystems where exploits and drains and things like that is just constantly occurring. And one of the amazing things about the XRPL mainnet is that there are so many inbuilt native protection mechanisms and spam prevention, things like trust lines and account reserves, which really help add peace of mind to users who want to use their currency and use their tokens on the on the ledger. And again, environmental sustainability. This is something that I'm very passionate about, and I think is a really exciting aspect of this ecosystem that should be on the mind of everyone. And I think that as we move forward, and we're in an industry where we're very tech and crypto focused, right? But I think that keeping in mind environmental sustainability and how we're treating, the world around us with what we're building is extremely important. And, I'm very proud that the network that we're building on and the ecosystem that we're building on, keeps this front of mind. And I think that's a massive benefit compared to a lot of other ecosystems as well. So where does gaming fit into all of this? And, it's funny that Josh, in his presentation, he said fun games, drive engagement. And I absolutely agree. I think that, if you can create something which is genuinely fun and enjoyable, that will have people playing hours and hours a day, spending their time and their energy into this game. And once you combine that successfully with blockchain and crypto, it means that people are then spending these hours and hours a day that they're gaming also participating on chain, right? And I think that is extremely powerful. It's an extremely powerful way to have people interacting on chain, at a very consistent amount on a daily basis. So you compare that to things like DeFi, which obviously provides a lot of value, but often it's a more set and forget sort of thing, right? So you're not actually interacting on chain that much. Whereas gaming, if you create a very fun and enjoyable ecosystem where people genuinely enjoy playing the game, they're now spending not only hours playing the game, but they're spending hours on chain, on the ecosystem, exploring the blockchain. So what does XRP and the XRPL provide for gaming? Essentially, it is a extremely fast, extremely cheap, and very sustainable ecosystem, which is perfect for games. So a great example I can give is the game that we have running on the XRP ledger right now called Zerpmon. And, you know, players are, after every single battle, they earn a little bit of XRP, right? And that goes directly into their wallet as soon as the battle finishes. If we were to try and run this sort of mechanism on many other of the top chains, you know, one, we wouldn't be able to do it as fast, and two, we would incur significant costs in terms of gas fees and things like that. So if you're trying to create a game that really, you know, interacts with the ecosystem and the chain, you know, a lot, the XRPL provides the perfect ecosystem, essentially. But what can games provide for XRP and the XRPL then? Essentially, games, as I said, games are one of the most engaging ways for people to, you know, interact with something, interact with an ecosystem, interact with other people. And so I really believe that, you know, gaming could be one of the best adoption mechanisms for people to start using XRP. Because, you know, as I said earlier, if people are spending, you know, hours a day playing this game they really love, while they're interacting with XRP, they're spending XRP, they're earning XRP, and they're doing that for hours and hours a day, that is more engagement on chain than any other form of platform can create. And I think that is going to provide a lot of value. And as well, something I really wanted to touch on, which you know, I'm glad that Josh went before me, is that the Korean and Japanese regions are, you know, as Josh explained, very, very big in XRP, right? And the XRP community is absolutely massive there. Then when you look at what else is massive there, it's gaming. Those regions are some of the biggest, the biggest users of games and the internet out of the entire world. And especially when you look at competitive gaming, pretty much, you know, that regions are the best in the world at majority of games, right? And you know, you look back at the adoption of the internet and things like that. And a great example is Korea. You know, they adopted the internet so fast through games like StarCraft and things like that, which forced, you know, these regions to start using the internet very quickly. And now those regions are some of the most advanced in terms of that sort of technology. So I think that when looking at how to engage all of this XRP, which is held, you know, in Korea and Japan on centralized exchanges, you know, let's give them something that they are used to and something that they will enjoy. And I think that gaming and entertainment is the perfect avenue to get these, you know, regions of people very activated and start using their XRP on chain. So this is a little bit, I only decided to talk a little bit about this recently. You know, I'm sure some are aware of some certain, you know, announcements and things like that, which have happened within the XRPL ecosystem over the last week. And, you know, I've seen a lot of, you know, nerves to do with the future of the XRPL and the future of this ecosystem. So I really wanted to reiterate that the broader crypto space as a whole is so young and it is so new. And if you look 10 years down the track, no one has any idea what chain is going to be used the most for gaming, used the most for DeFi, used the most for payments. Anyone who says that they know what will be used in 10 years' time, they don't know what they're talking about, right? Because the ecosystem is so young and so new, and there's so much potential for change, right? I think particularly when looking at the XRP ecosystem, there is a lot of growth and change coming. You know, we just had the AMM amendment go live today on the XRPL, which is amazing and awesome, and another use case and functionality for XRP, especially on the mainnet. And what I think is very massive, as I touched on before, is the multi-chain ecosystems, which are now all looking at integrating XRP. So, you know, a beautiful example is the Root Network and what they're doing. And, you know, they have created an entire blockchain which is powered by XRP. You know, and this blockchain is completely tailored towards gaming and entertainment and content creation. And, I think that as we see these ecosystems like Root Network and Zahao start to really flourish, XRP will be able to be moved between all of these ecosystems, and you'll be able to play these amazing games with XRP on Root Network. You'll be able to use hooks on Zahao with your XRP and, probably engage in some really unique DeFi mechanisms. And you'll be able to seamlessly move your XRP between all of these different use cases. And that's all stuff that we have never seen before within the XRP ecosystem, and we will see over the next couple of years. And I think that's very exciting from a retail perspective, especially. I think that as well, the institutional utility for XRP and what Ripple is really pushing for XRP is very clear. And I'm sure that everyone in this room has a really strong understanding, because as they're here, of what, XRP's utility is from that standpoint. But I think the retail use case for XRP is almost undetermined. And, I think that what we'll start to see over the coming years is, what the retail use case is going to be. And I think that is just absolutely so exciting. I think that the idea that we know there's so many things coming for us retail users of XRP, but, we don't know what is going to come out on top, and we don't, and, it's just such an amazing opportunity for builders and community members as well, because, over the next few years, there are going to be so many new and exciting ways to be able to use your XRP as a retail user. And, honestly, that is what I believe is going to, grow our decentralized ecosystem. As I've been building in the XRPL since 2021, I've really watched the space grow and especially mature a lot from, the NFT IOU and airdrop days, right? So as the metrics of the XRPL, may not have increased as significantly as a lot of other chains, I really believe the maturity of the community, the ecosystem, and the builders has increased significantly. And you see so many very serious builders building very amazing products, integrating XRP and using XRP. And that retail side of XRP is just going to absolutely grow and boom over the next coming years. And I just really wanted to end it with the idea is that I've seen a lot of people calling out for certain entities and things like that to do more for the XRPL and bring more adoption to the XRPL. But as Neil said, the XRPL is a completely decentralized network. And what that means is that the growth and the adoption of the XRPL is up to us as a decentralized community of users and builders, right? There is no single entity or no single person who is going to bring utility, adoption, and value to the XRPL. It is a completely decentralized ecosystem where everyone is going to contribute to that growth. If you'd like to follow along with what me and my teams are building, we've got a game studio that was grown and built within the XRPL called Gen 3 Games. Currently, we have a game released called Zerpmon, where we've actually got a booth running just out there where we have released the very first demo of the game where no one has played it online publicly at all, but you can come and play it yourself for, be one of the very first people to be able to play the game at our booth just out there. And we also have another game in development called Xscape. And then we also work on some DeFi mechanisms as well, where we have a DeFi platform on the mainnet called StaykX. And we're also building a DEX and NFTFi platform on the EVM sidechain called SerpentSwap. So now I will just end it with a little bit of a teaser from the demo of our Zerpmon game. Do I need to click a button to play it? Yeah, if you'd like to try out the game and the video was a little laggy there, if you'd like to see that video in its full and try out the game yourself, our booth is right out there, and we're more than happy to give everyone a go and answer any questions if you're interested. Thank you very much for listening.